Daylight quick. Just get done with work. Sorry to death. Stopped off at my sister's place. Got myself
and that same
tater tots.
Is also leading him to start planning for a future back in Honduras. He says he and his wife are talking about how they can send their life savings back to Honduras. He isn't yet part of the big uptick in remittances, but ideally they want to start sending $500 a month. And this, right here, is the solution to the list. She says she's seen a shift to where the
tater tots and a cheeseburger.
Instead of going to family, more of that money has been going directly to savings.
That's another clue that, that led us on to what was happening.
These are the financial preparations for relocating an entire life. Manuel Orozco, a remittance researcher with a think tank in DC called the Inter-American Dialogue, was also surprised by the surge. He says the most likely reason?
Now it's the fear of deportation that is triggering people to send as much as they can.
Yeah, look at that.
So it's sort of a
tater tot cheeseburger.
But remittances are only surging to some countries, but not to Mexico. Mexico is the #1 destination for remittances from the U.S. And there, remittances have actually been falling in recent months. Manuel says that's because Mexican immigrants
That's good. I've been craving this cheeseburger.
The longer
nuts.
you are living in the United States, the less likely you will continue because there is a life cycle in the number of years that you work, and that's 30 years. And that's the top.
Time for Mickey's Five Mile.
Support for Planet Money comes from Charles Schwab, offering investors choices like full-service wealth management, investing, and trading on Thinkorswim.
Sweet side.
Learn more at Schwab.com.
Multi-liquor universe.
You're listening to All Things Considered from NPR News.
Oh, man, I did not start a fire last night in that camper. Froze my fucking ass off. It would be bad if, you didn't have to get up and piss.
Support for WPR comes from St. Norbert College and Community Shares of Wisconsin. Your business or organization can partner in providing the WPR programs that enrich our communities. Join at WPR.org/sponsor.
WPR is your home for national, international, and Wisconsin news. From breaking stories to the latest from the state capitol. Informed political and economic coverage, stories about the environment, intriguing conversations with more each day.
Is this the love that I'm searching for?
I'm not particularly fond of buying and selling cars, so I do it as infrequently as possible. It was a natural for us to donate this vehicle that we no longer needed to a cause that we just tried to help. Left it in the driveway, ready for them to come. I wasn't even there when they came and picked it up. It was very easy.
Find out how you can donate at www.org/vehicle. Thank you.
Mostly clear and mild weather for Wisconsin for the rest of the day. Temperatures around 60 to 65 degrees. Overnight lows from mid-40s to the low 50s. Tomorrow we could see some light rain early in the day, then breezy and once again mild with Saturday's highs in the 50s and low 60s. Sunday brings more sunny and windy weather, but it will turn cold. Sunday's highs only reach 40 to 45 degrees. Monday, it looks partly cloudy. There is a chance of light rain or snow as well. This is Wisconsin Public Radio.
Support for NPR comes from this station and from the University of Maryland Libraries, committed to reimagining learning, advancing the public good, and empowering research that creates a better future for everyone. More at
Fuck yeah.
libmd.edu. And from
Fuck
Progressive
yeah.
Insurance with Snapshot, at progressive.com. Not available in California. This is NPR. From NPR News, this is All Things Considered. I'm Elsa Kane.
And I'm Scott Decker. Norman Rockwell is one of the best-known artists of the 20th century. He died in 1978, but left a legacy of images that to many are the embodiment of Americana. Paintings of Americans saluting the flag, posting them on social media with messaging around patriotism and what some have seen as in response to this use, Rockwell's family members have written an op-ed in USA Today announcing it as a shameful misrepresentation of Rockwell's work. She's an award-winning translator and artist, and granddaughter of Rockwell. So what was your reaction to these Department of Homeland Security posts when you first saw them and became aware of them?
Well, of course, I was very upset because it was so clearly framing learning.
Well,
I think one thing that has really struck people
this weekend off again.
one is as far as
That's cool. Probably get some shit done. Keep on trucking.
Maintenance of the Statue of Liberty, and they thought, yes, that's what we're doing. We're like, let's make America great again. Is talking about past and trying to
Come on, motherfucking trucking.
And I think that's something, especially in the case of Homeland Security, is a segregation. Which is actually wrong, because if you look closely at the picture, one of the people maintaining it is a person of color. He was tall enough to have people for positions by his editor.
You and your family members believe your grandfather, Norman Rockwell, would have been devastated to see his art used this way. Why do you think that?
Because we have really strong evidence of how inspired he became in the early civil rights movement to stand up and use this platform to send out a message in support of civil rights actions and desegregation. And so we have, for example, the Golden Rule, and then we have which is inspired by Ruby Bridges' solo for school desegregation
Young black girl going to school, adults guarding her, and you see racist graffiti.
Little Cletus.
So in 1964, and this is, I think, a really fascinating story. It was a few weeks before his 70th birthday that he published that painting. So it's inspiring to all of us, I think, in the family that, you know, you can just keep moving forward and keep using
Keep on keeping on, so they say.
Decided not at this point to pursue legal action and send a cease and desist letter or anything like that, but rather focus on education.
Cease and desist her.
Why?
Well, I mean, just if you just stand back and you see what this administration is doing, like, there's clearly not a nuanced approach to our American cultural history going on here, nor any respect for things like
Hey, Shauna.
copyright law. So if we try to pursue this,
Making them out like a
long
vid.
and drawn out, they obviously don't want to take
I
us
did.
down.
Oh, God.
In a kind of trollish way.
Oh,
We
God.
think it's more important that younger people know what he stood for.
Daisy Rockwell, thank you for joining us and talking about your grandfather and the way his work is being used in this moment. And in response to NPR's question, comment,
For decades, MLS has begun its season in the early spring. The season continues through the summer and into the fall, but that is out of step with how the rest of the world does it. And now the league has decided to align its schedule with other international soccer leagues. NPR sports correspondent Becky Sullivan joins us now. Hi, Becky.
Hey there.
Okay, so explain what this means and why is it happening?
Well, yeah, I mean, like we're alluding to basically, leagues like the English Premier League, all these other soccer leagues, remember, they run from August around through the winter and into the spring. MLS had this other schedule that was originally meant to reduce conflict for fans,
Business
the NFL, but over time, self-alignment with all these other soccer leagues was causing problems for teams trying to acquire, sell players, causing problems with players. Plus, you have all these big international competitions like the FIFA World Cup, which is coming next year. They generally take place in the summer. That's when these other leagues all have their off season, and so that was a pain for MLS.
And what will that look like when games are shifted all around?
Yeah, I mean, so basically this is going to swap some of those May, June, July games for games in November, December, and February, which is obviously concerned for places like Minneapolis, Montreal, Toronto, New England. Because teams make a lot of revenue from ticket sales and sales of concessions in March at stadiums on game days, and so obviously that might be a little harder if it's cold and snowy. And so, yesterday and today officials are acknowledging that might be tough on their fans, like CF Montreal CEO Gabriel Gervais. Here's what he said.
There will be some games where it may be colder, absolutely, and we're going to give that the best possible environment for them to be comfortable to enjoy it.
And so the league says it will take
Damn.
limit home games in December and February, and I guess these teams will just have to sell more super scarves.
Well, what about the players? What do they think about this change?
I think in general they support the
Fucking
move.
stuff
Here's
now,
Julian Russell,
holy
he's a fullback with
shit.
Minnesota United. He was speaking about this on his podcast Player Manager back this summer, actually, when this was all just a proposal. And at the time, he
Holy
guessed that 90%
shit.
of players would be in favor.
We wanted this change as a player pool. I wanted this change as a player. I think it would have broken up the season in the right ways. And it would have given more credibility throughout the world.
A lot of players spend their careers also going back and forth between the U.S. and Europe and other leagues. This just makes those kinds of transitions.
Is this change a done deal?
Well, actually, the Players Union does have to agree to this. Switching the schedule
Babaluba.
around in such a major way will require
Bibabaluba.
revisions to the collective bargaining agreement.
Bibabaluba.
They haven't really commented on this yet, so that's still a potential obstacle, even if all these players, or many of the players, ultimately do so.
Bop-a-doo-bop-a. Shimmy, baby.
This is NPR News.
It's 4:29. This is Wisconsin Public Radio. Good afternoon. I'm Cody Carlson. Thanks for being with us. News update just a bit here on all things Pacific.
Hi, I'm Molly Gardner, WPR's Regional Manager in Northern Wisconsin. Did you know WPR.org has an events calendar? It does, and it's full of events. Of course, there are a lot of great shows and concerts in Milwaukee, Madison, and Green Bay. Plus, you'll find symphonies and shows like Wausau, La Crosse, and Superior. And don't forget the local community choirs and concert bands. You can find all these great events and add one of your own. Just go to wpr.org/events.
Mostly clear weather continues. Mild too, with overnight lows from the mid-40s to the low 50s.
Thank
Tomorrow
God.
we'll see some light rain early on. After that,
You guys, it's not going to be
mild
fucking
again.
29 degrees.
Highs in the 50s and low 60s. Colder weather returns on Sunday.
Yes, it's love. www.www.
Live from NPR News in Culver City, California, I'm Rick Bryan. In Chicago, ICE facility. Immigration enforcement in New York.
Since the start of Operation Midway Blitz in September, protesters have gathered
Oh.
at the facility near Chicago. On this particular morning, a group of those protesters, some identifying as clergy, reportedly surged past the
Holy
security
fuck.
barrier, triggering a shoving match with Cook County Sheriff's deputies and state police. The holding facility is the target of lawsuits. Earlier this week, a federal judge ordered Martin Costi, NPR News.
Well, the FAA is reducing its flight delays at 40 of the nation's airports as both TSA and air traffic controller staffing improves. This, of course, following the reopening of the government. Flight safety restrictions now reduced to just 3%. NPR's Joel Rose has more.
The number of staffing shortages.
Your mama.
About 70% of their total take-home pay. But that is only part of what they're owed. They're supposed to get the rest later in the month, including any overtime and shift differential pay that they're owed.
NPR's Joel Rose. Airlines saw a significant drop in Thanksgiving ticket sales during the shutdown, but remained confident. Meanwhile, the Trump administration withdrew a Biden-era proposal today that would have forced airlines to provide compensation for passengers who experience significant delays. This is NPR.
It's 4:32. This is news from Wisconsin. Good afternoon. Increases in state fees paid by livestock truckers and auction barns. As Hope Kerwin reports, state officials are now planning to put forward more modest increases.
The State Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection received more than 500 public comments on the proposed increases to the fees paid by livestock truckers.
Burn this bitch up. Let's fucking heat on. Turn the light on. Is this love that I'm feeling? Is this the love that I've been searching for? Is it love? Or am I dreaming? Cause you know what? It's really gotta hold on to me. I can hold you in my arms, is it love? Or am I dreaming? A lot of homeless people roaming around looking for a place to be homeless. Most people had homes. Most people are born homeless. 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 Hurry up. Running out of daylight savings time. Is this the love that I've been searching for? We'll drive home, grab my chainsaw. We'll drive out to a spot. Roast some good hardwoods. Land down. Fallen cell. Whatever. Fucking zip them up. Bring them home. Stay warm. Stay warm. Stay warm. So come on, this. Is this love? Alright, I'm out here. Take a look around. Oh my God. Oh,